The three most popular tarot systems, or types, are the Rider Waite Smith tarot, Aleister Crowley's Thoth tarot, and the much older Marseille-style system by various early artisans. Of these three most popular systems, only the Rider Waite Smith changes the order of the Justice and Strength cards, and today I thought I would try to explain why. Hello, I'm Michael J. Auger. From the most ancient of times, humans have sought answers to questions. The need to better understand the future and the past so that we can better manage the present has been sought by many different methods of divination, from primitive study of rocks, bones, and entrails, to modern interpretations using common items like mirrors, tea leaves, and playing cards. Tarot cards, with their elaborate images full of symbolism, are a perfect divination tool. And although there's no proof that the tarot was encoded with occult meaning from its creation, that's exactly what many people believe. The secret societies from long ago attempted as best they could to rediscover occult divine meanings they believe were hidden in plain sight. However, I personally believe that some of their guesses were better than others. Although it's uncertain how many cards were included in the original tarot, the Marseille-style deck, which has a total of 78 cards, including 22 Triumph cards, became the standard. And because there's 22 Triumph cards, and there also happens to be 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet, some esotericists believed that there must be a connection. Another idea was that if the tarot was a key to everything, then astrological correspondences would also surely be encoded. So they tried their best to link them up. The Triumph card of Fortitude included a lion, so a guess was made by the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn that this card linked to Leo. Likewise, the scales of the Triumph card Justice were determined to correspond with Libra. The only problem was that using the ancient Chaldean system they preferred, this meant that these cards were not in the correct order. Ancient astrologists defined the word planet differently than we do today. To them, a planet was any light that wandered in the sky that they could observe with their naked eye. In the Chaldean order, the 7 planets were ordered from slowest to fastest: Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the Sun, Venus, Mercury, and the Moon. Star clusters that did not appear to move fell in between these wandering planets and were ordered accordingly. And this is how we get the classic order for the zodiac signs. In this way of ordering, the sign of Leo comes before Libra. So the Golden Dawn decided to fix the tarot by renumbering these two cards. Justice, originally card 8, became card 11, and Strength, originally card 11, became card 8. Arthur Edward Waite decided that he would create and publish a tarot deck for the general public. And because he was a member of the Golden Dawn, his deck uses this alternate numbering for these two cards. It just so happened that the deck he created with the artistic help of Pamela Colman Smith became one of the most popular, if not the most popular, tarot decks in the world. And so countless other decks have been created that follow this alternate system of numbering. Later on, the infamous Aleister Crowley also decided to create a deck illustrated by Lady Frida Harris, and he called this the Thoth Tarot. Like Waite, he was also a member of the Golden Dawn. So he wanted to continue the Golden Dawn correspondences, but he also wanted to return to the classic numbering of the Marseille-style decks. So he did some loopy mental gymnastics to make it work. I should note that Crowley also changes the names and interpretation of the virtue cards of the tarot. So Justice becomes adjustment, Strength becomes lust, and Temperance becomes art. That being said, you can imagine the natural order of the zodiac as an orbiting belt. And to make the Golden Dawn system work, Crowley suggests twisting the belt at one end so that the signs to either side of Virgo, which links to the tarot's Hermit card, are able to swap places. In this way, the correspondences are kept while reverting back to the classic tarot order. It's a little bit forced, but it works, at least for Crowley. As I mentioned earlier, the Golden Dawn saw correspondences between the 22 Triumph cards of the tarot and the 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. The Hebrew letter Zadi, corresponding with the zodiac sign Aries, was originally linked to the star. However, Crowley claimed to have heard his guardian angel, Ios, proclaimed that Zadi was not the star. So he decided that the true correspondence should be the emperor. This meant that the Hebrew letter Heh and the zodiac sign Aquarius that originally linked to the emperor should instead link to the star. Another loop in the belt was needed, this time to swap the signs on either side of Pisces, which links to the tarot's moon card. This created a zodiacal belt with two twists. Thoth, Leo, and Lamed, Libra, are switched by the Golden Dawn. And the Emperor, Zadi, and the star, Heh, are switched by Crowley. By having two twists in the belt, there was a better sense of equilibrium. And I can understand that Crowley was doing his best to reconcile different systems and make it all work together, but I feel he ended up just making things extra confusing and loopy. Shout out to Lon Milo Duquette for these chart diagrams, by the way. And although I agree the wisdom of the zodiac is important enough to justify inclusion in the tarot, instead of piggybacking on the other cards, I believe it appropriate to include as separate cards of their own. And it just so happens they were, in an early Florentine version of the tarot called the Minchiati. However, members of the Golden Dawn were most likely unaware of this, and so they forced links as best they could, which has led to many after them to continue their correspondences. And if these correspondences work for you, use them. Your personal intuition should always be your guide. As for me, I created a special 100-card tarot deck called the El Cento, which includes the zodiac cards separate from the rest of the major arcana, as well as including many other lost cards. It's my hope that the El Cento will resonate with a new generation of tarot readers and help to rectify the past with the future. You can learn more at my website, offbeatartwork.com. But before you go, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so that you can be in the loop. Until next time, brightest blessings on your spiritual journey.